This is Tyler with Lava Cable, and today I'm going to be showing you how to make a patch cable with our piston kit. Check it out. So to make your piston cable with your piston plug, there's going to be a hole inside of the plug, and there's going to be a round hole where the screw just went in. Those line up. And on the other side, there's a notch cut out where the cable is going to bend down to make the 90-degree plug. And these line up on the cap and the plug too. And they just slide right on top of each other. So your first step is to sort of inspect your cable and make sure the cuts are really clean and they're really straight and there's not any sort of angled cut like that. And there's no sort of fraying of the ground cables or really any sort of fraying of the copper inside of the cable.
Now, in case you don't have a pair of wire cutters sitting around, you might try an X-Acto knife or a hobby knife. And what you'll want is a really clean, sharp blade, because you'll need a sharp blade to avoid any sort of fraying of the conductors. And what you want to do is you want to make a nice perpendicular cut at 90 degrees and just saw back and forth, and it'll come right off, and it'll be a really clean cut. And it needs to be perpendicular. If it's not, your cable probably will not work. It needs to be a good, clean 90-degree cut.
So once you've ensured that that cut is nice and straight, you want to look at the tip of the cable and make sure that it's nice and round and it's not oval, because what happens is when you clip it, it squeezes on it and it makes it sort of an oval shape and it won't fit inside of the plug properly. So just sort of squeeze it into a circle shape and you should be good to go. And you're just going to insert it right into your plug. And now that your cable is inserted into the plug properly, you're going to want to take it and see that notch there. You just want to bend it down into that notch like so, and you take your cap and you just place it right on top there and it just snugs right down. And what I find easiest is to just sort of hold it in between my fingers like so. So what you want to do is make sure that you have your threaded holes lined up so you can just put the screw right down inside and take your hex key / Allen wrench and just torque it down righty tighty. Keep going. It's going to get a little firmer and then you're going to meet a lot of resistance. And it'll be nice and snug. You don't have to worry about over tightening it. And that's your first end. We're going to go ahead and do the other end here. So it's the same thing. You're going to inspect the tip of the cable to make sure it's round and it's not oval. This one's a little bit oval. So I'm just going to sort of squeeze it. And if you want, you can even roll it in between your fingers like so, just to make it nice and round. And you're going to take your plug, you're going to insert it, and you're going to just make sure it's nice and snug in there, like so. Now, same thing, you're just going to bend it down into the notch. You're going to take your cap, insert it over the plug, and it's just going to pop right on there. And again, I'm holding in between my fingers to make sure the threaded hole is lined up. Screw inside hole, screw being screwed. Keep torquing. Now there's the resistance there, we're snug. Our cable is complete. We've got our trusty old PV tester here. We're going to plug it in, make sure everything's good to go. Green says yes, and the answer is yes.
Just to recap, you need to make sure you have a good sharp blade to cut your cable with. And when you make that cut, you need to make sure that it's perpendicular and nice and clean. If it's cut at an angle, it's not going to sit inside of the plug properly and your cable will probably fail. And you need to make sure that when you make your cut that the center conductor is not touching any of the outer shield or the black semiconductive layer inside of the cable, because that will also short out the cable. So just make sure you have a clean, sharp blade and you cut perpendicular, and you should avoid most, if any, problems.
Just remember, if you have any questions, comments, or issues, feel free to hit us up. We're here to help at any time, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. There's always cool videos going up. Thanks for watching.
Where's my peg? Where's my peg? Where's my peg? Where's my peg? Where are you? It's gotta be here. I left it here. I know I left it here. No. Where? Come on.